What's up, guys? Today on All Sports Central, we'll be going over a team that was a huge surprise team for me last season. That was the Kentucky Wildcats. So this was a team that went 10-3 last season. I'm sure they surprised a lot of people, but how are they going to do in 2019? That is what we're going to be going over here today. Kentucky's final preview for the 2019 season. Once again, they went 10-3 in the 2018 season. They returned Terry Wilson at quarterback. And I mean, he wasn't a great quarterback. He put up some decent stats. He had 1,800 yards. But I do expect him to be better this season. They do lose their 1,400-plus yard rusher, Ben Snell. Now, he was really good. I mean, put up those stats like that is insane. He got drafted into the NFL, so he will not be with this team this year. Asim Rose will get lots of time at running back for sure. So watch out for him. They do lose their tight end, C.J. Conrad. He was one of their leading receivers last season, so that's something to note there. They lose their main wide receivers, Bouvier and Baker. And Josh Alley is their top 2018 wide receiver to return. So if you know Alley, I think he's definitely got a good chance to have a good season. The thing is that when you're losing as many receivers as you are, I mean, the tight end is already tough to lose. Then you're losing Bouvier and Baker as well. That is going to be rough for Terry Wilson to be able to overcome. So it'll be interesting to see how they do there. Plenty of losses on defense too, so you can't forget about that as well. Now, Kentucky last season, I think part of why they were more of a surprise team, I hate saying it, but they were a very experienced group. I mean, looking at how many seniors that this team is losing, I'd say out of all the previews that I've done, they probably are one of, I'd say, 3 or 4 teams that are losing as much as they are. I mean, at least they're not really losing the quarterback. The thing is, though, about Terry Wilson, he still has got plenty to improve on. So as you see here with his stats, he had 1,800 yards, once again, 11 touchdowns. Not many touchdowns there, and then 8 interceptions. When you have that touchdown to interception ratio of 11 to 8, I hate to say it, but that's not a very good ratio there. So he definitely needs to improve, at least with those interceptions. How much will the losses be impactful for 2019? It's tough to say right now. But I don't expect Kentucky to get back to 10 wins. I do expect them to make the bowl game. They will make a bowl game easily, I think, but I don't really expect them to contend very much in the SEC East. I could see them finishing either 3rd or 4th, not so for sure yet. The SEC East competition, though, is very tough. You got Florida, you got Georgia, and then Kentucky, of course. You got them in the mix as well, so that's the thing that makes it so difficult. Ben Snell, looking at his stats, he had 1,400 yards once again, 16 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than Wilson did, and 5.1 average yards per carry. That is insane to have over 5 yards as your average yard per carry, especially with 1,400 yards. That is insane. So this was a very talented running back, so it's tough for Kentucky to lose him. But now looking at their schedule, here's kind of what I expect from this team. Toledo and Eastern Michigan, you win those 2 games pretty easy right off the bat. Then you got Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina. Those 3 games, I think they're going to lose. They're going to start off 2-3. Those 3 games, though, they're just going to be tough. Florida's going to be a good team. They're going to come into that game because it's going to be important at the time. And I expect both teams probably to be ranked at that point. I mean, Florida's going to be a great team next season, so that's going to be a tough game too. Then you got Mississippi State, South Carolina, both games on the road, both against great teams. I think they're going to both be losses. Arkansas then at home on October 12th. I think that's going to be an easy win just because Arkansas, I mean, they will be improved this season, so you got to watch out for that. But I think it'll be more of an easier win there for Kentucky. At Georgia, I mean, it's going to be too tough of a game for them to win. So I mean, looking at that at this point in the season, you're 3-4. You're kind of halfway through, and you got to win 3 of your next 5 to be able to even make a bowl game. I think they win all 5. I mean, Missouri, Tennessee, those are very winnable games. You have Vanderbilt, E.T. Martin, and Louisville. All 3 of those are really easy wins. I even consider putting Vanderbilt in green, but I didn't just because it's a road game. I think Kentucky finished off the regular season 8-4. Should be an interesting year for this team. They've got a strong finish. I'd be expecting, I mean, if you're playing Kentucky in a bowl game next season, they're going to be tough for sure, just because they already came off they're coming off of a very difficult, or a 5-game winning streak. So that's going to be something to watch out for there when you're playing Kentucky. 8-4 once again is my record prediction for this team. First half of the season is absolutely brutal for this team as well, just because, I mean, at least they don't have to play Alabama, so that's good. We have Florida and Georgia. Those 2 games especially, I mean, if you could win those games, that's probably the only shot that you're going to get at making the SEC championship game. So those 2 are definitely very important games. I mean, even if you can win one of those 4 games, I'm projecting as losses, that's going to be huge because, I mean, I can't really see them losing any other game. Maybe even the Missouri game could be a little bit sneaky. Tennessee could be a little sneaky. But other than that, I mean, definitely 8-4, I think, is your probably most reasonable bet for a record for Kentucky this year. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this team in the comments below. Is Kentucky going to be worse than this, or are they going to be better? Be sure to let me know. Don't your thoughts go unknown if you do not agree with these predictions. Once again, though, thank you guys all for watching. Show some support, and I'll see y'all later.